Alright, so I went back and forth on making this video. We're not a political channel here, but this has got to be one of the largest hockey stories right now, and it's really made its way into mainstream political discussions. I'm talking, of course, the booing of the American national anthem at Canadian hockey games, and it continued tonight with the Vancouver Canucks booing once again the Star-Spangled Banner, and I don't suspect this will end anytime soon. I think you will see it continue, in fact, at the Four Nations tournament, at least the Canadian games, although the Americans have somewhat been giving it back. We saw the Nashville Predators give a much more reserved booing of the Canadian national anthem. And listen, there's one way to tell when someone is a bit of a headline tourist to hockey. National anthem booing is not that rare. It happened on both sides of the border during the Stanley Cup final last year, but I'm not going to get overtly preachy here, but I think 95% of people understand why Canadian fans are doing this. As a Canadian, we don't see booing the national anthem as booing America as a whole or American people. Rather, it's booing the government, and specifically, a lot of us feel betrayed by the actions of the United States recently. Again, we're not a politics channel here, but the somewhat flippant actions of America, a much larger and more economically powerful country, can have completely devastating effects on our economy, with the trade war seemingly coming out of nowhere. I've actually never seen Canadians more unified than recently, which is shocking given the sort of low approval rate of our Prime Minister. But a lot of people, I think, also rightly see this as an attack on our sovereignty, which is not particularly neighborly. And listen, regardless of your politics, this is what I will say objectively. I never expected the United States, our closest ally, a nation usually seen as a brother to Canada, to be, for me personally, a major source of anxiety when it comes to my children's future. I think a lot of Americans might not relate to this, just again, because the country is so much larger and honestly economically more resilient, but I am honestly very concerned that the relationship between the two countries has been hurt in a way which will not recover, at least in the short term. Anyway, not foisting my politics on you here, but that's my thought on the current situation. I know some players have come out and said that booing is disrespectful to veterans. I couldn't disagree more. Both our countries have in their constitution or their charter the core tenet of freedom of speech, or in our case, freedom of expression. Political speech is arguably the most important type of expression, so I don't take this as a slight against veterans whatsoever. It's a use of our most important right. That's just my thought, however. Let me know yours respectfully down below. I will be banning people regardless of their politics if they can't communicate like someone who is at least 9 years old.